So a common inevitable thing that probably anybody is facing is how do I fix my family? Like, what am I supposed to do about the people in my life? There's people who are married who want to know what are they supposed to do about their broken spouse, or their siblings. There's people in families and their sisters or their brothers are just, they're the problem, and what does God want me to do about my broken family, or how do I fix, what's messed up that's out of my hands? And I think that's the key phrase actually right there. Satan would have us to focus on all the things that are wrong that we have no control over. You can't control the face that you were given, how your skin is reacting to a diet. You can't control how tall you are. I mean, you get those weird little lifts that people are wearing, but there's things about you that are out of your hands. You also are not in control of how somebody in your life developed, like how they grew, how when you got along with them great when you were kids, and now they've become somebody that has developed into a terrible direction. Maybe even they started using drugs or drinking. And Satan would have us, in order to completely discourage us, that's the word I'm looking for, he would have us to look at all the things that are out of our control. But there's something interesting in Matthew chapter 5 verses 14 says, "You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do you light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father that is in heaven." The truth is, it's not in our responsibility, it's not in our hands to fix all the things that can't be fixed. The question, how do I fix my family? The answer is, you can't. But it's not your responsibility to fix them. However, sometimes the thing that is your responsibility, you're distracted from because you're focusing on all the things that you actually have no control over in your life. And what is God telling us? It's telling us that when we're in a scenario with a bunch of things that we can't fix, that the thing that we need to focus on is the one thing that we can work on, which is to grow as a light. Because when you're in a situation of darkness, the thing that's needed in that situation is not how to walk in the dark. It's how to turn on a light. And the Bible calls us the light. So our relationship with God is the thing that we work on when there's people around us that we can't control. We work on building ourselves even though we're surrounded by people that may be broken. Sometimes their brokenness is so frustrating to us that it's like a wet blanket of darkness on us. And so what are we trying to do? We're trying to show them how much they're ruining our lives. But those are things that we can't control. And we have no power to change their mind. But the funny thing is that when you're in a scenario like that and you choose to grow and grow and grow and grow, the Bible calls you a light. And now you're a light in that person's life. And when you're a light in their life, that's actually you lending yourself to God working through you, because you're more submitted to God. And that's probably the best chance that they have, is you growing, because you're in their life. This is super helpful because I think of like, here's what happens to me. Like, I'll be in a scenario and I'll visibly see somebody else's life and they don't seem to have the same inconveniences that I do. They seem like they get along great with their siblings, let's say, or they seem like financially they're stable. And so then they're, let's say, like a Christian and they're worshiping God. And for me, it feels like, well, obviously it's easy for them to like go to church and worship God and be this light, because they're not dealing with the same crippling things that I'm dealing with. We're inclined to naturally believe that what needs to change is that circumstance or that person. We need to fix that. And that's why divorce rate is so high, because people are like, I've tried with this person and they won't change. And so what I need to start cutting things out. And you see that all the time, like people's advice, like, oh, cut the negative out of your life, only surround yourself with positive. But that's to live a life that is absolutely no hope for those around you that are struggling. But when you draw near to God, the Bible says that you become the light in the situation. And that can be the most hope that those other people are going to ever have. And you're not, when you're focusing on God, you're not tricked into thinking that the problem is the difficult circumstance, because the main guy, Jesus, had the most difficult circumstance, and he didn't go fixing his circumstance. That's not what he did. He didn't cut out the people who were messed up and then surround himself with people who supported him. He went to the people who were messed up. He was surrounded by people who were questioning like what he's doing and why he's doing it and not understanding. He didn't just pick the pupils that were getting it and saying, you guys can graduate forward with me. He kept the guys, even a traitor, with him. And so he teaches us through example that him being the light, he was the light of the world. And then here again, he calls us, and I'll just read it one more time, chapter 5, verses 14 through 16. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it underneath a basket, but on a lampstand. It gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. So it's not fix your situation. It's become the light.